Good morning and welcome to the Regional Symposium on Implementing Transit. We've got a sold-out crowd this morning, which is a great reflection of the interest in the subject we're going to talk about today, and we appreciate your patience as you take your chairs, and if you need some spots, we'll try to help you locate them. I'm Ken Moore. I'm chairman of the Mayor's Caucus for Middle Tennessee, and I'm going to serve as your host today. The Caucus is proud to be one of the convening hosts for this symposium, along with several other groups. First is the Nashville Area MPO, and I know that you've seen many of their staff, and we appreciate their presence here. The Transit Alliance of Middle Tennessee, and Transportation for America. I want to thank those organizations for all their efforts in planning this and this day-and-a-half event. And I also want to thank Cambridge Systematics, Lowson Associates, Urban Land Institute of Nashville, and the Tennessee chapter of the American Planning Association for their financial contributions to the program. Several points of order here. First of all, I'm not going to read everybody's bio today, so those bios are in your packets for you to understand who the people are that are going to be the speakers. I would ask that you silence your cell phones, but I know how busy you are, so please keep them on vibrate. And then lastly, I would like to take the opportunity to recognize members of the Mayor's Caucus. So if you're a member of the Mayor's Caucus, I would appreciate you standing this morning and being recognized. And particularly, I want to recognize our first chairman of the Mayor's Caucus, who is Joanne Graves, and she set the bar high for the next chairman, and we appreciate her leadership early on. And I want to thank all of you for your interest in this important topic, one that is of special significance in the for the Middle Tennessee Mayor's Caucus. And I think what we're going to try to do today is how can we transform that frustration that we have over long commutes and staying in our cars too long to really understanding the health implications of transit and the economic impact of inaction on our part. For those of you who do not know, the Caucus is a special and unique coalition of mayors here in Middle Tennessee. And just to give you a brief history, the Caucus was formed in 2009 in order to provide leadership on important issues facing a rapidly changing regional landscape. And I want you to notice a couple of words there, regional. This group thinks regionally as far as the issues so that we can come together and talk about them and try to solve them. And transportation, and particularly the pursuit of a modern mass transit system, served as an early catalyst, but as the caucus has evolved, it's taken on other issues. It's become an effective forum for mayors to develop personal relationships and help other governments support each other and understand each other's problems. And it serves as a vehicle to discuss a broad range of other issues ranging from economic development, environmental issues, tourism, and also legislative issues. Since its formation, the Caucus has fostered communication and coordination among cities and counties across Middle Tennessee. We've advocated for public policies beneficial to cities and counties, promoted positive image of the region as a place to live, work, and play, and we've strengthened partnerships with the business community to ensure economic prosperity. The Caucus represents over 40 city and county mayors in 10 counties around Nashville and represents a population of 1.67 million people. This region is expected to grow by 1 million people by 2035. And it's a region that is expected to continue to be a leader in the state and nationally for job creation over the same period of time. During the past couple of years, the caucus has been working intently on advancing regional transit initiatives. Our progress has been slow, but we have made some progress, and I'd like to quickly highlight what that progress has been. In 2009, this region presented a bill to the state legislature to expand our authority to plan, fund, and implement regional transit. It's now law. Later that year, the Mayor's Caucus was formalized in a large part to provide political leadership to this issue. In 2010, the business community rallied together by the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce, established a transit alliance to show private sector support for mass transit. Later that year, city and county mayors from Middle Tennessee adopted the 2035 Regional Transportation Plan that set a new course for transportation policy for Middle Tennessee and established a bold new vision for mass transit in our region. And earlier this year, the Regional Transit Authority officially reconstituted itself to take advantage of the enabling legislation passed in 2009. Its first action was to welcome a new member, Montgomery County. Still, there's a long way to go, and that's why we're here today. Let's talk a bit about the MPO's new regional transportation plan, which addresses the needs for the expected growth and the transportation challenges that we're going to face. The transportation plan addresses guiding principles, goals, and objects for the enhancement of Middle Tennessee transportation system over the next 25 years. It details a multimodal strategy to support the economic growth and prosperity goals of the region's communities while dealing with problems of future congestion. It also addresses concerns for health, safety, and security of travelers, as well as the negative effects that system expansion has on the natural and socio-cultural environment. Many of our competitor cities have already taken steps to address their transit issues. Their experiences give us the opportunity to learn from their successes and also their failures and to plan our response. So I have 5 questions for you this morning. How do we move about in our region? How do we continue to enjoy economic growth? How do we maintain our quality of life? How do we connect transit and land use? And how do we build a case for mass transit? This is what we plan on doing today, answering those questions. We will learn about state and federal transportation policy. We will learn how transit improves our health. We will hear about exciting initiatives in Nashville and how that benefits the region. And we will come to understand the financial challenges of transit. And we will discuss implementing MAP 21. And finally, we will learn how to implement bus rapid transit, connect transit and real estate, and incorporate transit into policy and planning.